So once you actually find out what's gonna happen, how long do they tell you that you're gonna serve?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 years.
And 3 years, so that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 18 to 21.
Right.
What's it like?
Oh, it was wild.
What do you remember from it?
Looking back, I remember, I guess that was before everything went bad.
Do you feel like people were looking out for you when you first went in?
Absolutely.
Okay, well that's good.
Absolutely. I definitely, yeah, I was, you know what I mean? I was definitely looked out for. I was definitely taken care of. You feel me?
You're 18, you get the 3 years. Do you do the 3 years and get out, or what happens?
I did like 2.5 years, I'd say, out of the 3. That was a bit of a challenge. Parole, like coming out on parole as to being like a juvenile on probation and, excuse me, like, you know, living with my parents or my grandparents, to just getting out on parole and like maybe being homeless, kind of. Like, I mean, obviously, I have family and I have people that I could like rely on, but you know, being 21 years old and having a son and like being out of prison, like, you gonna lay on someone's couch or like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So
you got to work.
Right.
You got busy.
Right. Just.
And it's back to what you know, or.
And that's the unfortunate part. Work was what I knew. You know what I mean? Back to the streets.
Yeah.
You know, I switched my hustle up. You know, got into some other things, but I mean, eventually it all led to the same thing. You know what I mean? A dead end. You know what I mean? A bad situation.
Okay. So when do you go back in?
I went back for the 10 years in 2007. So 02 to 04, and then there was like a 3-year period of parole where I was just violating in and out. Be home for a couple months, be gone for a couple months. Yeah, but yeah, between the 3 years and the 10 years, there was a span of a couple years where it was just violations,
like little in and outs,
in and out until I caught.
And it feels like that's probably your chances, right? Like you had all these chances probably for those couple years, and nothing wasn't hitting, and eventually you got what you're looking for, right? You made it to the pen.
Right.
So you get there that time, and what leads you to the 10-year bid?
I caught a dope case. Yeah, I sold some dope to an undercover cop.
Okay.
And got involved in an indictment, and I didn't know at the time that I had sold to an undercover or anything like that. My life kind of just was still going in the direction it was going in. Then one day I got pulled over. I had a gun in the car, and they violated my parole for felon with access to a firearm. And when I got to the county jail, they had a whole nother plan for me.
Oh, wow.
They let me know that they unsealed the indictment basically, and I was.
And your whole life changed right there.
Just everything.
And you didn't see it coming at all.
Nah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then it must have really hit you that you're like, man, everything that I'm doing has caught up to me.
Absolutely. It's just, when it rains, it pours. You feel me? I took 6 years on a dope case, got to prison. I was on the yard for like a year and caught a battery on a correctional officer and got caught with a weapon. And
what was it? Do you remember the situation with the correctional officer?
Yeah, I had a knife on me and they ran in the building. I tried to get rid of it, and their altercation pursued between me and him in the process.
Squabble up.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of the shit.
Yeah,
But you know, in the spur of the moment, and just when you just pretty much just in that zone, you just make shit worse. You know what I mean? Because I could have gave it to him and he got less time. You know what I mean? But the process of thinking that you're gonna get away and just not giving a fuck, really. You know, just.
So that added more time.
Right.
How much more time did that add?
They gave me like 4 more years. Took me out to court, gave me 4 more. So the 6 turned into 10.
At the start of the tenure, you said you were on the yard for about a year.
Oh, right.
And then after that altercation happens, right? Then what happens to your situation?
3 months in the hole right there.
3 months in the hole?
Yeah.
And what's the hole?
The hole is like segregated housing, you know what I mean? Confinement. They put you in there by yourself. Strip you of anything that a typical inmate would have, like a TV or a radio. They just kind of get you down to religious materials or reading materials. Yeah. 23-1, just in the cell. Get a little bit of time to work out, shower, back to the cage.
Okay, and when we were talking earlier, you had said, oh, like when I brought up like how'd it go when you did your first 3 years, and you're like, it was good. This is before things went bad. So at this point, have things gone bad yet? Are we talking like things are bad now?
During that time, they started shipping people out like to Mississippi, Oklahoma, Arizona. Like they were basically kidnapping us. California was so overpopulated at the time that they were buying bed space in other states, and still making a profit. Like, okay, they'll contract with CCA and be like, okay, we're making 60,000 off this head, we'll give you 40. Now they're still pocketing 20, even though they don't got to deal with the body. Yeah. So they're shipping people all over the place. Yeah. It was difficult for a lot of families to, like, you're from San Diego and you end up in Mississippi. You're not getting no visits. Basically, they just severed whatever family ties you have other than writing, because even phone calls are too expensive. They're collect and they're long distance. Yeah. So.
Okay, so after you do the 3 months in the hole, then how's it going in jail, in prison?
I went back to the main line, ended up out in Centinela, and I got on my feet, you know? Like the female that I was dealing with, she took off during that time, so it was like actual rebuilding process, you feel me? I caught the extra time, and then she tracked out, and then it was like just like $0, zero motion, zero, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Your balls and your word at that point, you feel me? So I got to business at Centinela and just...
You start getting acquainted.
Start grinding, you know? Start putting it together.
You get on your feet though, you're moving around, everything's cool. You figured out prison.
It was really just like taking a look in the mirror and being like, dang, bro, like, what you gonna do? You know, it's like, you ain't got nothing. And it's not even about material shit, just like nothing, you know? Like you got whatever is in this space that you got, so.
In your mind, I think you mean like you got nothing, like you're not educating yourself. Right. You're not building a business. Right. You're not doing anything with your life. There's nothing. You have nothing.
Right. Not even.
And there's no
an idea of what you.
Yeah. You're just completely at zero.
Right.